Okay, this is Bonsai Anonymous. I've done a couple of videos today wandering around and cutting old, diseased, and insect-laden branches and leaves and trees. So, and I've been looking at this and right here, this little combo. There's two things here. First is this, and I made this pot, okay? And as you can see, the roots are coming through the bottom. Can you see that? Maybe you can. Anyway, so there's that. And what I was going to do maybe was take these both out and put them over rocks, but I decided that they're already kind of looking for a rock here, see? Can you see that one anyway? And that one's doing it too. So what I decided to do was combine this and this. A pot in a pot. This is one I made a while ago, kind of a failed attempt. You can see it's all cracked, and I was going to try to fill this in with something and, I don't know, fix it. But what I'm going to fill it in with is this. Okay? Now, over here on this side, what we would like is for that to seal. I don't think it's going to. The two sides here, these are different. This kind of goes convex, and this one kind of goes concave. We need the convex one because it needs to be able to fit in the broken spot like that. It needs to be able to fit like that. Okay? All right? And that's how it's going to be. Now, I've made that decision. So next, I'm going to decide, and I have already decided what the front is. Find my pen here. All right, now I'm going to make this the front. Okay. Why? Well, probably the best reason is that I want to see when these roots go into the dirt. So we'll show you how we're going to get them to go into the dirt. But before we do that, I'm going to make my little F here. This is F. That means front. Okay. And before I started the video, I trimmed a couple of lower of these, and I'm going to cut a few more off just because they're in the way. All right, now I'm going to take these two plants out. I don't know what they are. Yeah, I don't know what that is. This one's going to. They're both the same. I don't know. I could use my phone and see what it is. Maybe I will do that after a while, but I don't know what they are. This is one I do know. This is artillery fern. It is the cutest little thing, and it's easy to grow. Take this piece and put it there, it'll grow, but as you can see, it doesn't have a problem growing. All right, so what's next? I think I want to move this out of the way. That. So I have a way to sit this securely. First thing is I'm going to tell you what I'm doing here, what I would like to have happen. And that is that I would like these roots to grow over the side of the pot and down and into the dirt. Now, there are already some roots coming through in the bottom down there. Only one anyway, I see. And so I would like to encourage that, not knock all my soil off. Knock it all off. I think there's a couple under there. I want to put some of this dirt under here. So I'm going to do that. See how that looks. See if that lets me do this any better. It's kind of like that is how it has to be. And then it fits, and and I put some in there. Hold it that way. This dirt is a little wet. I think it was over on the shelf over there, maybe in the rain. But I'm not too worried about it being too wet. All the plants I have, well, certainly this type of fig is one of the ones that seems to like water and seems to not mind if there isn't any water, and just is happy. In fact, if I was funny, I might say it doesn't really give a fig about any of that. I always have to consider if I'm going to lose subscribers, by making a joke, and I don't think I have to worry about losing too many more. There aren't that many. So, those of you that do these channels, why do you do them? Why do you do it? I see a lot of them. I'm old. I'm retired, and so I spend time sitting and watching things. Not just YouTube, but the world. There's plenty to see right now. But why do you do it? Why do you do these channels? Why do you? I think that a lot of people use them kind of like a diary. In other words, they don't write out a diary. They just do a little entry. Of course, journaling and diaries are the same. So that's one. So I'm being Captain Obvious. That's okay. That's my thing. Now, while I'm talking here, I'm going to dig around and find some more dirt. Without moving the camera, it's behind. I'll move a few things out of the way here, so I can get to it. The bonsai soil is in instead. Anytime you poke around in your stuff, I mean, I find things every day that I didn't see the day before that are interesting. Today we had a cool little, lizard. Okay, so I am going to take I'm just going to show you my bucket with my soil here, but I really need to do that. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. You see that I'm bringing the soil right over the top of this and down here. Why? Well, one thing I could do would be to put muck around here, kind of seal that down. And I probably should have. I just knocked off another root. But these seem to be very, what's the word? Forgiving, obviously. Okay, now, I'll move that over. And I'm going to try to hold it down with a little bit of this. That didn't work very well. Try again. Sooner or later, it'll become obvious that I can't do this. But what can I do with things? Okay, so I really think that it's going to find its own way down there. All right? I guarantee. I really do feel it will find its own way down there. So put a little more here. Okay, so let me talk about this, what I'm putting on here, exactly what it is. It is my version of bonsai soil, and that's what I want it to be this way. So, my own version of bonsai soil. Okay, so that's a piece of bonsai soil, and it's also going to prop this up a little bit. Okay, so. All right. So, the video diary, that's one thing you could do. Want to, I'm definitely doing that. I don't really have a journal anywhere else. At least I'm doing it for this. I'm not keeping a bonsai journal anywhere. Okay, so that is a weird looking combination. You see how weird that is? The front is right here. So, now, this, I don't really have a name for what this is, but I hope that I can convince, I need more bonsai soil around those bottoms of these. I want to bring them up so that rather than mucking their way down here, I'm going to just, okay, so, okay, there is, I really want these to be down, and I'm not having much luck holding them. And I really would rather have that be somewhere else other than where it is. Okay, so these are the ones I want in a certain place. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so is this long enough? No. And that means that none of these will be long enough, probably. It's a little longer. So that's going to go like that. And this, and around here, and hoping that I'm actually tying. No, of course not. Okay, so that's going to go like that. And we're going to try it one more time. Let's turn around and see if we got it done. Yeah, we did. Can you see that? It's a very gentle thing. I mean, it's not, there's no tension on it, but there's enough tension to keep that going there. And so that, I'll say yes for that one. Okay, just a little bit about what I put in here. This is my version of bonsai soil. I'm seeing finer pieces and more dust than probably should be there. But anyway, what do I make my bonsai soil out of? Well, there's three things. And each one has its own role. I'm trying to find some pine bark. Okay, that's not it. Find a piece of pine bark in here for sure. We have some. Well, okay, this is pine bark. Right, so I have a local, it's called bushel stop. I guess it's they have all kinds of dirt and rock and building materials, but outside building materials, landscaping things, fountains and so forth. So they have all sorts of this stuff. Mine is mainly these three things, okay? This is warning track gravel. Okay? They put so that the players know when they're looking up, it's a fly ball, they know when they get to the warning track. And it also helped Denzel Washington in a movie I just watched. That's another matter. So there, I buy this. It's not too expensive. And I buy this. This is 1/4 inch lava rock. And then I buy this, which is pine bark fines, small pieces of pine bark. Okay. So what do they all do? What are they all for? First of all, we want water to be able to drain easily. That's why we were very careful about the drain holes and all this. Water's probably going to come out of here, right here, or it could anyway. It's a hole there. So this does not absorb. This does not absorb water. So if I made my bonsai soil out of only this, the water would go every time, and it kind of does that, but not quite. Okay, so that's one thing that's in it. Another thing is lava rock. Okay. warning track gravel is rock too, but lava rock retains water. It's got little pockets in it, and it's light. Okay, it's light and it retains water. So the combination of those two, I guess, lets the right amount of water through and keeps the right amount of water where it needs to be. At least these three things are the things I hear a lot of people make their bonsai soil out of. Not necessarily warning track gravel, but small gravel, akadama, which I can't afford that, but I know that this is kind of like that, I guess, clay. So the combination of these three things is what you see here. Now, as I said, this has got some, looks like it has some real fine dirt in it. That right there looks fine dirt. I'm not really too worried about that. I do want this plant to succeed. Now, what is my goal? What would be cool would be, I'm just daydreaming here, but suppose of course I want the roots of these two to go through the bottom and also over the top of the side of this and into the dirt. Okay? So it looks like Angkor Wat or one of those temples where they have the huge roots growing over everything. Of course, it's not going to be quite that huge, but I think it's cool that the right roots are going to look for their way through all this. Okay? So that's part of it. Then I'm thinking to myself, what after that? What if they get here? Okay? And I'm thinking, how about if the roots start coming over to here too? What do? Well, I'll put another pot under it, just like I put this pot under this. Okay? And it'll be a 3-pot bonsai. I don't know how you say that in Japanese. There's probably no word for it because it's so stupid. Anyway, this is, other than being watered, this is ready to go. Now, when I say ready to go, I mean ready to be off the bench. It has to go someplace where it's not going to get burned in the sun. I have to water it, and I have to water it in such a way that I don't rinse everything off here. It's got a kind of a shape to it. Now, ultimately, you probably will be able to see this black pot all the way around. In other words, I have a feeling that this is all going to sink over time. Okay. And hopefully these two here will have everything they need. Let me mention something else. First of all, you've seen, even in the short time I've been doing this, you've seen some of the pots I make. Some of them, the ones like this, I kind of like it. It's very thin. I have some more over here. They break easy, but sometimes they don't. This one's been around for a long time. And then once I make them, if they turn out well, I use them. If they don't, sometimes I try to fix them, and sometimes I just have pieces of them. And I don't think I can glue this one together. It's made, the bottom part is a kind of more porous cement than the top part. I don't really think it would glue, but I can do something with it. I mean, I can, let's see here. It kind of goes like that. It's kind of hard to do. Okay. Like that. I've thought of some things I can do with this. I thought some things I always have some ideas for broken pots. This was a broken one. The bottom broke off. That's not exactly what happened. I didn't pour enough concrete into the thing to make the bottom. Okay? So I had to add another bottom to it. And this also has roots. That's not true. I was going to say roots coming through. No, those are the wires. The wires probably aren't that necessary now because we have this huge thing on the bottom. Okay. Well off the track. Rambling. But that's how my mind works. Lots of non sequiturs. Should have called it bonsai non sequitur. That would have been closer to what it is. But anyway, I have big hopes for this one, and managed to keep it far enough this way so that I think it's going to keep the dirt in. I mean, most of the dirt isn't going to come, or water, I mean, isn't going to go through here. It's going to stay there. to water it. But there's plenty of drainage here in this. So, to conclude, these two strangler figs were growing quite well, really, with some other plants growing here, and I could have easily left them just the way they are. I'm trying to see that I don't get my fat stomach in here. So far, I think I've managed not to get it in. Yeah, that's great. So we'll leave it like this, set it aside, and see what happens with it, okay? What would I call it? I would call it a pot in a pot bonsai. Maybe pot in a pot, pot in a pot. I have a few others that are pot in a pot around here. So evidently I've thought about it before. So we're gonna put the dates on a new pencil sharpener, but of course it's inside. Put the name of the plants. I think they're strangler figs. Strangler figs. Pot in pot. 9, 15, 23. Okay. Has anyone ever done this before? Oh, come on. Sure they have. But this is the first time I did it, so I'm giving myself a little credit for that. All right, there it is. Not going to do the little round the turntable deal for you. Some people do that. It's already almost at, how long is it? Yeah, it's almost 25 minutes long already. That's long enough to watch me. Okay, Bonsai Anonymous out.